Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today we're once again back in Warframe for another build, and this time we're having a look at the Redeemer Prime. This is the first weapon I fell in love in Warframe because it's a melee that is also able to become a shotgun when you need to. So this build is gonna mostly focus on that and spread the damage from this weapon to all enemies within a huge AoE. Anyways, that's enough introductions for now, so let's jump into the build. Starting from the base stats, this weapon has a very low attack speed of only 0.9, but this can be fixed with mods. Range is only 2 meters, but for this build this won't matter at all because we're gonna focus on the shooting part of this melee. And Raven disposition is only 1 out of 5, so Ravens are not recommended. I do have one which is pretty good, but it's still not as good as other mods. Critical chance is at a solid 24%, critical multiplier is above average at 2.2x, and status chance is 30%. The weapon mostly deals slash damage for a total of 212. These stats only apply to the melee attacks of the weapon, while for the pellets we have other stats down here. The fire rate is the same as your attack speed. The weapon fires 10 pellets per shot. It has a 1 meter of punch through, which is quite nice to have. The fall-off starts at 10 meters and ends at 30 meters. This means you deal full damage to all enemies within 10 meters. Then from 10 to 30 meters your damage will slowly decrease, and after 30 meters you will deal no damage to enemies. Crit chance and critical multiplier stay the same, while your status per projectile does change to a 9% per projectile, and the weapon now deals 80 blast damage for a total of 800. And these are the mods I use for the build. Bullet Dance as my stance because of the combos. This one has a very unique combo that allows you to shoot a lot with the weapon, but it's a little harder to farm, so if you don't have it, just use High Noon, it's gonna be perfectly fine. Then I'm using Dreamer's Wrath in my extra slot to increase my Tennokai opportunity by 50% and crit damage by 32% on Tennokai attacks. Galvanize Elementalist for status damage and on melee kill more status chance. Killing Blow for 120% more melee damage on heavy attacks and 60% more heavy attack wind-up speed, which basically means your heavy attacks will be performed a lot faster than usual. Blood Rush to increase crit chance by 40% per combo multiplier. Galvanize Steel for more crit chance and on melee kill 30% crit damage up to 4 stacks. Quickening for attack speed and more combo count chance. Amalgam Orgno Shatter for more crit damage and even more heavy attack wind-up speed. Galvanize Reflex for 50% more heavy attack efficiency, and on melee kill we gain more initial combo, allowing us to have a permanent 5x combo multiplier. And finally Voltaic Strike for more electricity and status chance. And the reason why we are building for electricity is that we are going to use Melee Influence to spread all our damage to all the enemies within 20 meters. And thanks to this arcane, we can propagate blast damage to all the enemies within 20 meters, and they will then explode and deal damage to all the enemies within 5 meters. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole build, so let's now see it in action. As usual, we have our 20 Corrupted Heavy Gunners, level 225 with Steel Path modifiers, and that is because I love testing against very tanky enemies, and these for sure are. Now, before we start, this weapon, as I said, does shoot quite a lot, and we won't shoot the weapon as much as possible, so that's why I recommend spamming your forward melee combo and your normal E combo. Those are the two things you want to spam, and those are the ones that allow you to shoot as much as you want, and yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to do. If you can alternate them perfectly, it's much better. I'm just not really good at that, but it does still do the job. And with that out of the way, let's just start blasting enemies. Alright, so we want to trigger our Tennokai and immediately use it, because there's no way of keeping it. If you're gonna lose it, we just lose damage as well. But the thing is, after we do that a bunch of times, then statuses will spread. And Blast deals the rest. Yeah, it does deal quite a lot of damage. So let's do that again. What we want is just trigger a melee influence, and after that, well, it doesn't really matter what happens, because enemies will just explode and die. If you don't trigger the melee influence or the Tennokai, that is a bit sad, but yeah, it's a 20% chance. We'll be shooting 10 pellets at it every time, so the chances are there. You just need to get lucky, I guess. If enemies don't die from this explosion, the weapon does deal enough damage to, well, be able to delete them, so that's perfect. And of course, I did not forget about my beautiful companion here, the Panzer Lupafila, because this cat does allow me to spread viral on enemies while I do absolutely nothing, so that's amazing. It does also grant us an additional 1.2x crit damage multiplier on our weapon, which is awesome. And yeah, overall, it's a very good pet to have around, and this is a build for the claws if you're interested. So let's set our pet free and let's see what happens after we also apply viral and some armor shape, because this cat does also armor shape. I mean, it's just the same thing as before, it just happens a bit faster because there's viral that debuffs enemies and makes them take more damage. So yeah, of course, having viral is always nice. And if we want to bring these things even further, we can apply a roar buff or any other buff you like. And I mean, that is just a death sentence for all the enemies. Obviously, we are dealing a lot more damage, and this will come handy if you're dealing with like acolytes or enemies of that type, because yeah, they do not really like taking damage from statuses, while they do like taking damage from your melee or I guess any weapon that deals a lot of damage at once, and this weapon for sure does. And yeah, that's pretty much the Redeemer Prime. It's a very elegant weapon, a very unique one as well, and it allows you to deal with enemies in a different way, and I really like that. Anyways, I will now leave you guys to the showcase where I test this weapon for 5 minutes in a Grenier Steel Pulse Survival, so you can see how it performs in a more realistic scenario. If you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like, and if you like my content, consider subscribing. I wish you a beautiful rest of the day, and bye bye.
represent. Gotta do it hella big, had to run it back again. Light it up, represent. Had to do it hella big, had to run it back again. Gotta do it hella big, had to run it back again.
Stop.
Gotta do it hella big, had to run it back again.
Stop.